And that's when I took it upon myself to run for my—
You better run fast. Oh, shit.
Welcome back to Spooky Season. Okay, I'ma stop.
We're gonna be reacting to a couple scary animations by my man's Llama Arts. If y'all would like to check his channel out, I'll leave it in the link in the description. He already did like 2 videos of his, so he has some good animations, you know what I'm saying? That deep web one was scary as shit. I'm not gonna lie. How many y'all Halloween babies like me? Or at least your birthday's on Halloween. What y'all gonna get me for my birthday? Shit, y'all gonna send me something? Y'all gonna send me a letter? Y'all gonna send me some money?
Take care.
This first one is home invasion horror story. I think The Grudge about to come out this bitch.
It was a cold, foggy evening when I contacted a close friend of mine to stay at my place for the night. Both of us were only 10 years old at the time, and my parents were often at work until midnight, so I was usually alone with nothing to do except watching a television show or reading a book. My friend Alex had agreed to come over and brought a game of Monopoly to pass
He got
him
them
the time.
goggles.
I also asked if he was interested in going to explore an abandoned subway station 3 miles away.
Number 1. This that white people shit. How old did he say he was?
We were only 10 years old at the time, and my parents were often at work until midnight.
Little as hell trying to go to an abandoned shit.
He seemed excited at first, so we planned to go on the trip in the morning. I remembered that the subway dated back to the mid-1920s and became abandoned in 1932 after the market crash in 1929. I was very fascinated about it.
I saw Stuart Little.
My parents had warned me not to enter.
Shut up.
As I quietly slept in my bed, I heard what sounded like a gunshot coming from the forest behind the house. Both of us woke up, frightened after what we had heard, and I told my friend not to worry, as hunters tend to go into the forest on frequent occasions, but when I checked the time, it was 11:39 p.m. This seemed very unusual, as hunters only came into the forest between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m.
Oh, shit.
I looked at Alex and decided to get out of my bed, intending to look through the window and spot for anyone in the forest. The darkness clouded my vision, so I was unable to see anyone in the forest.
Word?
I turned around and looked at Alex again, when suddenly I heard the front door squeak open.
Bro, he lived
Chills went
right
down
next
my
to the—
spine. Both of us quietly moved to the bathroom, locked the door, and kept the light off. It was the only safe place in the house. Both of us were terrified as we desperately tried to keep as calm as we could. We heard footsteps getting louder and louder until they stopped in front of the bathroom door. And then this is when the most terrifying sound forced my heart to almost burst. Both of us screamed as the person chopped the door to pieces. It was pitch black inside the room, making it hard to find the vent, and by the time I spotted the vent, the person behind the door had made a hole big enough for us to see him. He lifted me up on his shoulders, allowing me to open the vent and crawl inside. When I looked at the door again, the man had managed to fit his arm through the hole and reached for the lock. I quickly grabbed Alex's hand, but struggled to pull him up into the vent.
Oh, he got Alex! He got Alex! He got Alex!
I began going after him. I pursued the figure until I was led to the abandoned subway deep within the forest. It was chilly and foggy.
Oh, Alex gone! Oh, it's a wrap. That's Jason. I know Jason when I see it. Look at Alex. That's f***ing Jason, bitch! Spam RIP Alex, cause that nigga gone.
Inside the subway was a pool of freezing cold water. It was so dark that I couldn't see anything. I had to rely on listening to the screams from Alex and track the source. As I slowly walked through the subway, I was now struggling to breathe under the intense stress and fear of the situation. I was now experiencing a massive panic attack. I had lost track of Alex, and I had no idea where I was or how to get out.
What?
Where are you, Alex?
Whoa. Wait. No. Is this a real story? No, swear to God. I thought that— no, this can't be no real— is it a real story? On October 19th, Alex was confirmed after he found inside the ticket. Bro, swear to God. 19th. What the fuck? Alex, wait. What the fuck? This is a real story. I don't know. His closest friend remains missing? I couldn't find nothing, but if this is an actual story, then wow. RIP to my mans. He went out like a soldier, but that is not funny. Like, this shit really be happening, bro. Like, people really be getting abducted. Like, it seems like I could be getting Amber Alerts every day. Well, it seems like it. Y'all be safe out here, okay? There's some weirdos. This one was uploaded 10 hours ago. It's called Creepy Neighborhood Story. Let's go ahead and do it.
One day at around 4 p.m., we were outside playing badminton.
Bro, I used to play that all the time.
Too hard, and it landed in the next door neighbor's
PE.
yard. Morgan
said
she had more inside her
time.
house and went to get them. I felt uncomfortable leaving it there, so I told my sister I'll go get it myself. She told me not to do it and just wait for Morgan. While my sister was fixing the net, I decided to run and get it real quick. As I was about to enter the gate, my sister grabbed me from behind and began telling me how much of a bad idea it was.
This is Pennywise's house.
Is this yours? I said yes and asked if I could have it back. He said he had his grandchildren's old toys upstairs and asked if we wanted to have them. Me and my sister were very young at the time, and we thought as he lived so close and he looked like a typical sweet grandfather, what's the worst that could happen? So we agreed and entered through the back door. The first thing I noticed was the stench. It smelled of damp and rotting food. I shrugged it off at the time since he was old. Maybe
why did they go into
alone.
that house? Didn't your mother tell you to say no to don't talk to strangers? And you talk to strangers anyway. This Pennywise is distracting me. Hold on. Didn't your mother teach you like not to go into people's houses you don't know? You know what I'm saying? Especially strangers, you feel me? Like stranger danger. You know the saying stranger danger? That's a real thing. Unless it's Michael Jackson. You can go into Michael's house. That nigga got an amusement park in the back. That nigga got Disneyland in the back of that shit.
I answered, "The sweet old man." And she cut me off and said that the house was abandoned since she moved there. I thought she was just playing around with me and told her to cut it out. She had a blank expression, and that's when I knew that she was serious. We never told anyone because we didn't want to cause any trouble. But now that I'm older, I wonder if it was some ghost or creepy old man luring kids into that house.
That's a hobo, bro. Alright, this last one's called Hitchhiking Horror Story.
3 months after I turned 16 in 2005, I got my first car, a 99 Toyota Camry. On a warm Saturday night, when my friend Alex invited me over to one of his friend's big parties, I knew I wouldn't be in a condition to drive the Camry home afterward. So we carpooled with Alex's girlfriend, Brianna. We lived in the country. We lived about 5 to 10 minutes away from this kid's house. I knew where he lived as I was acquainted with him, but not exactly friends. And this kid's house was actually on this road further down.
Word.
At certain points on this road, there were a few houses on either side. And then it would just go back to being a long, empty highway again.
Dang, so you in the middle of nowhere.
The house was tiny, like a lot of houses around the area, but the party was held outside anyways, since his closest neighbors were relatively far away, and noise wasn't an issue. Brianna, who was supposed to be our designated driver, had to suddenly leave for a small family emergency.
I've been in that situation!
Alex said it was fine and that we'd find a ride home. I checked my watch and it was like 2 in the morning. I figured it was time to go. I started looking for Alex, but I couldn't find him anywhere. In fact, it seemed like everybody I knew had already left.
That boy is lit and by himself.
Still furious at the fact that Alex could have actually left without me.
I've been in that situation. That boy's lit.
I asked to use the party host's phone and dialed Alex's home number.
He's
After
at
two
home.
tries,
Watch.
I gave up and then realized I shouldn't wake his family up.
Oh, Lord.
So, literally not knowing what else to do, I dizzily stepped out onto the road and began walking back home. I knew this walk would take anywhere from half an hour to an hour in my condition.
No. Why
Maybe
would
after
you do
15
that?
minutes of walking down the road, the slight shine of car headlights on the road was fading in from behind me. Jumping for joy inside, I lifted up my arm and stuck out my thumb.
He don't know what he doing. He's drunk. I just need a ride, man.
Where you headed? I told him my house was just down the road and beyond a right turn, probably slurring my words beyond comprehension.
Oh,
He
Lord.
chuckled and told me to hop in. I thanked him and joyously hopped into the truck.
He
I
already
was
looks
exhausted,
sus. He look
and
like
I remember completely disregarding things the guy was asking.
Sylvester Stallone. You about to go box some niggas right now, bro.
Passing out. And that's what happened. The memories of being in that truck turned to a fog as I'm sure I passed out. The next thing I remember, I woke up still in the moving truck. The guy looked at me and laughed, but didn't say anything. I looked around and realized the road we were on wasn't familiar. I nervously asked, where are we going? He then said, so what were you doing out this late anyway?
He changing
The man answered
subjects.
my very straightforward question with another irrelevant question. The sobering reality of the situation hit me. You can let me out anywhere, I told the man. The man responded with a firm no. I felt like throwing up as he said that. No, I really actually felt like I was going to throw up. I started to gag as I felt more and more nauseous by the second. The man took his eyes off the road to look at me, and that's when I thought of the perfect distraction.
Throw up in his face.
Direction as I continued to gag.
Do
the car.
it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Thankfully, I drank as much as
Do it. Do it.
to the point of doing it all over the man's lap. The man yelled in frustration and stopped the car, and that's when I took it upon myself to run for my behind a few bushes.
You better run, bitch.
The man came following into the woods with a flashlight, and on 2 separate occasions, he shined the light straight over me.
You scared the shit out of me.
Eventually, I heard his footsteps walk even further into the woods past me. That was when I ran back to his truck, but unfortunately, he was smart enough to lock it. By some miracle, I saw another car approaching in the distance, and I ran out into the middle of the street, waving my arms like a lunatic. The car tried to avoid me, but I wouldn't let it. They were forced to stop, and
You gonna hit your ass.
the driver agreed to give me a lift. Not to the police station or anything, but to my house. I made it back safely, where I couldn't thank the driver enough. I immediately woke up my parents and told them. My dad wanted to know if I got his tag number, and then I felt like punching myself in the face. I failed to get the simplest information from the guy that would have allowed me to actually properly report him. All I knew was that he drove a faded blue '99 Ford Explorer. I made sure to give Alex a piece of my mind, and part of me always held a grudge against him ever since, just for abandoning me at a party
real.
without telling me. I haven't seen him in 4 years now, however, and this was actually the first time I even thought about this incident for almost a year now. As time goes on, even the worst of memories may start to fade, but after writing this to share with the internet, it's once again fresh in my mind.
To this day, like, I still roll with the same people. You know what I'm saying? I keep my circle small like this. Like, I could count it on my hand, bro, type shit. Bro, keep your circle small, dog. You can't roll with people to parties that you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, you're going to be up in some man's car and he's going to try to touch your damn boot. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all like to see more scary animation reactions, let me know in the comments down below. Also, what other scary games y'all would like to see for this spooky season. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here.